It's all the same. Lots of different ways of going about it. This is a way that effectively engages an awful lot of higher dimension support, so that there's more grace, the most grace, so that there is the most grace, so that there is the most grace. Because we are putting effort in, and we're trying to help other people, and we're not holding ourselves separate.
And it does take something. It takes something. I just feeling that, like, that we put the effort in, but to just be straight about that effort feels like something. It takes something to feel it when you're on the edge and you're about to do it, and you're sort of like
scared. We're scared.
Yeah, it takes something.
It takes a lot, actually. It takes ability to discern the truth, right? Trust in the guides and the plan. Humility. I can't drive a Maserati. I'm in the child seat, strapped in, thank God. But I let the guides drive this Maserati. And then stability. I am holding space. I am not going to cave when someone puts their low vibration literature on our table. I'm going to say, take it off. What did Christ do when he went into the temples? Friends, get it out of here. This is the house of God. That's what he did. Remember? Do you think he was wrong about that? No. He was holding a space. So, that probably didn't go over very well in the moment. Right? We can acknowledge probably people were a little upset with him right then. Right? He just knocked over a bunch of people's stuff and broke their things. He did. Were they happy with him? No. Did they kill him for it? Yes, they did. Did he do the right thing anyway? He did the right thing anyway. Remember what he said. These things shall you do and more. Do you not know you are all sons and daughters of the Most High? These things shall you do and more. Do you think he was lying? Oh. Do you think he told any lies? Now, do you think people took his words and twisted them into something he didn't say? I can attest to how quickly that happens. People take my words and twist them all the time. Not that I'm, please don't misunderstand, I am not comparing myself to that soul who people know by many different names, including but not limited to Jesus the Christ. I am not comparing myself to him in any way. But he said, these things shall you do and more, and I believe that to be true, because I know he's not lying. So if he says I can do it, you know what? I can do it. And you know what? You can too. We can do it. We can do it. We can be a stand for truth in the world. People don't like it when we knock over their tables. It's okay. It's okay. We're not literally knocking over the tables, but we are saying, take these smelly brochures off our table. It's okay. And we don't have to say smelly, and we don't say smelly, and we say it as nicely as possible. We do. But we don't let them put their smelly brochures on our table. can learn to see the world for what it actually is and to love it anyway. We don't have to lie to ourselves about how it is in order to love it. We can just see it. It's ugly. We can love it anyway. And it's way more incredible of an experience when it happens. It's a transformative love, because you know why? We realize the world doesn't have the power to make us stop loving it. It's harder to love it. We have to put a lot more effort into it. It is. There it is again, that effort thing. But we can do it. And then, wow. You feel that? You got more into the smelly garden hose. Right. Just deeper down. Like it's set down another floor or level. Yeah. Yeah. Feels great, doesn't it? Feels awesome.
Not so tippy anymore.
Not quite so tippy, but let's not be satisfied, because we're still like at elbow height. You think we're deeper than we are, actually, in reality. No disrespect intended.
Kind of breathing into the lungs.
Yeah.
To go down here to,
To get ourselves to actually breathe into. That's right.
Okay.
Exactly. There, Stephanie got it. Oh wow, and I did too, because I just burped for no reason. Here's something that people can think. They can think that people who stand for truth aren't afraid. Has anybody ever thought, I wasn't afraid? I'm afraid all the time. I'm afraid all the time. But what difference does that make? What am I going to do? Look them in the eye and say it was too hard, I was afraid? No. I'm going to say, hello, my old friend Fear. Thank you for being such a loyal companion. Now watch me as I do it anyway. People sometimes think, Lynn's so disconnected, she doesn't know bad things are going to happen by what she's doing. That's not it at all. They're going to file a class action suit against me. You understand that, right? A class action suit against me to try to force me to certify people who aren't meeting standards. You know what I will say? Do whatever you need to do. Do what you need to do. I'm doing what I need to do. When my daughter was 14 years old, we were picking up her niece at Tampa Airport. We were delayed in traffic, and I was 40 minutes late to pick up my 14-year-old niece at Tampa Airport. And so I pull up at the baggage claim, and they send Jamie in. Fine, Megan. And the security guy comes up to me and says, you can't stay here. And I said, my daughter is in there. I am not leaving. He says, you can't stay here. I said, do what you need to do. I'm not leaving. So he's kind of freaking out, trying to figure out what to do. And then Jamie and Megan came out. I'm not leaving. Do what you need to do. I'm holding space. I'm not leaving. Do what you need to do. friends. It's okay to be afraid because we're all afraid. It's okay to pop out of our bodies because we all do it all the time. It's okay to get turned around on our life paths. I don't see any way of avoiding that. It's okay to rock back on our heels. That seems to happen all the time too. We just get up and do it again. Do it again. And do it again. Second time's the hardest, as it turns out. I was wrong when I used to say the first time is the hardest. I was incorrect. That was a lie. I didn't know it was a lie at some level, and at another level I did, and I was just not wanting to get to that point yet. Maybe, I guess. And for all I know, maybe the third time is the hardest. You see? Maybe. Maybe I still have it wrong. Does that make sense? Could be. I could be wrong. I know one thing. The second time is harder than the first. Who knows that for themselves, for personal experience? Second time is harder than the first. Maybe the third time is harder. Could be. But one thing I do know, eventually it gets easier. Does that make sense? The only way to know for sure is to keep diving in and see, is the third time harder than the second? Just do it as an experiment, you know? Is it still getting harder, or does it start to get easier? Where? Third time? Fourth time? Fifth time? When? When does it start to get easier? To have a curiosity about it. In 1 minute we have to open the door because we say we will. And so the trick is this, to not let go of this energy that we're flowing in right now. We're sitting, we're holding space for spirit right now. So the trick is to keep this flowing and still open the door. Right? And still open the door. You can do it. Can you see the metaphor for life? To stay in the pillar of light, not with our doors closed to the world, but to open the door. Let the light shine out. Does that make sense? We can do it. We can do it. We can do it, friends. And now it's 9:30. Good morning.